This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to call the Stratford High School Renovation Subcommittee meeting of September 7th, 2021 to order at 5:39 p.m. I'm Ken Poisson, 6th District Councilman, and also the Vice Chairman of this committee, but Chairman of the Building Needs Committee. I am filling in for Alan Llewellyn, the Chairman of this committee tonight, who had somewhere else to be this evening. The second item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. I'll take a motion to approve August's minutes.
So moved.
Second, Susan Lance.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Item 3 is Town Council update. Everything has been going pretty smooth through the Town Council. So we'll move right on to item 4.
All right.
Item 4 is a project financial update. Paul Drummy from CREC. And before we move on, everybody, I'd just like to officially welcome Dr. Osunde to our committee here, our new superintendent. It's nice to have you here, sir.
Welcome, Doctor.
Doc, we can't hear you. Are you on mute? Are you on mute?
Muted. You're muted.
Sir, we
Can
hear
you
about
hit the microphone button?
Can you hear us? Okay, we will not bring up UConn football in the conversation today.
Or maybe we should, because we can't hear him. Okay, either way, thanks for being here, Doctor. All right, Paul Drummy from CREC, project financial update. Go ahead, sir.
I see your note.
Paul, we can't hear you. Are you talking?
Doctor. Okay. Is Ken? Yes.
Can hear you
Can
now.
you hear me okay?
Yeah,
All right.
now.
Okay. All right, everyone. So we received the. No, I got to do something different here.
Oh, I can hear you right there. If you don't move, we can hear you like right there.
Can you hear me now, everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not the.
All right, while Paul's trying to fix that, I also neglected to say a few of us were late arriving because we were on another meeting, another virtual meeting at 5 o'clock. The Public Works meeting ran a little late, so that's why we all suddenly appeared, because we were at the Public Works meeting and jumped over here as soon as we could.
But thank you, everybody, for showing up today.
Yes. All right, looks like Paul's going to try to call back in.
Mr. Chairman, can I go on the record here?
I'm afraid to put you on the record where I don't know what you're going to be talking about.
None of this would have happened if we met in person. Thank you.
I totally agree. Totally agree.
Now,
there was a lot of variables involved this evening, which is why we went back to a virtual meeting for this month after having 2 in person. We are going to try our best to do in-person meetings from here on out, as long as they're allowed by the governor. But there was a lot of variables that we're not going to discuss in public that just happened for tonight's meeting. But duly noted.
Thank you. Okay.
Thanks, Rich.
Paul,
Just had to
move
get that
up?
in.
Yep, no problem.
All right. Can everybody hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Sorry about that, everyone. Okay, so project financial updates.
Paul,
So
you're fading in and out. Maybe turn your video off. We don't
we
need to see
received
you.
the
We need to hear you.
department. Okay, all right. How about now, Ken? How am I
Yeah, we
sounding
can hear
now?
you. Yeah, it's good now, but then you say 5 words and it fades back out.
There.
Yeah, we
All
don't
right.
mind if you turn your video off. Usually, sometimes that helps with the connection.
All right.
I learned that in the
Yep.
classroom.
I'm on it. Trying to shut it off now. Thank you. Stop my webcam. All right. How about now, Ken? Am I consistently heard?
Yes, much better.
All right, thank you. All right, everyone. So project financial update, we still remain under budget. I received the general ledger from the finance department today. Craig in our finance department will reconcile to the open POs and contracts and get back to the committee with a updated budget. It's looking favorable. Like I said, it's under budget. There are some surpluses and quite a few line items, one being the mover, Myers, WB Myers, the other being the special testing agent, which is tri-state special testing, materials testing. So again, we're going to go through that and we're not going to wait a month. We'll send it to the group, an updated budget within the next week or so. That way you have an idea of where we stand. We continue to dovetailing on to the next item, Chairman, if I may.
Yes, Paul, go right ahead.
All right, so we continue to commission the systems. We are working through commissioning of the VRF. Things are positively tracking. We are working on the J2 items and the punch list items. Those are being checked off as well. The new rails, Dan, were installed outside and inside. I haven't been out there yet. I do plan on getting out there this week with the architect and making certain that they are acceptable. But yes, we're moving along to get this project behind us and closed out, everyone. Are there any questions on the budget or closeout?
Paul, I must say I drove by there several times, and I was looking at the turf field and the new railings look much better. Dan, have you been by there? They look good. I mean, to my untrained eye, they look good to me.
Yeah, I saw them. They look good.
Good.
And as far as the HVAC and the VRF and all the other acronyms it has, I must say for the first time since we've been in the building, Paul, I've had hardly any teachers come up to me and say, Ken, my room's too hot. Ken, my room's too cold. My room's been good. So knock on wood, if they finally solve the problem. Stratford High has a modern system finally, and
Yes,
we're very grateful for it. It took a long time, but it's working properly, it seems.
they really did. It took us a long time to get here, but we do feel we are there, Ken. And thank you for the feedback, because it's good to hear that the end user is comfortable.
We are working through still quite a few problems, though. There are quite a few units in alarm. There are a bunch of things that aren't working correctly. We have some issues with the programming, so we're trying to work that out with Steve Gaines. But
yeah,
there are quite a few issues that if this gets turned over to us, that we're still dealing with. A lot of issues of parts need to be changed and stuff is still going wrong.
And we're not gonna be handing you over a system at this point, Dan. There's still work to do. So trust, we're gonna make sure that you are all situated at the end of the day. We're gonna have the same closeout meeting we did with the DOAS units, and make sure that you or Rich or anybody else has any questions, you are situated before acceptance.
Okay, I have one question. We're going to need a laptop and probably an LG program, so we could even, some of these things we can't even add refrigerant or diagnose anything without it. Is that anything that was part of the project, or is that something we have to buy ourselves?
Dan, that should be part of the project. Let me look into that.
Okay, thank you.
So a laptop in the LG program.
Yes,
Okay,
thank you.
you got. Any other questions?
Doesn't look like it, Paul. Go right ahead.
All right. Okay, right over into change orders, item number 6 on the agenda. So the one change order I sent out in the email was change order COR 321 revised, because it went back and forth from the project team back to the subcontractor. So what K&W and Eagle are trying to do here is really try to close. Turner's trying to close K&W's books and get them closed out and their portion of the project behind them. What this would entail, and for this COR to be valid, would be for the town to take on the responsibility of managing the actual sub, which is Eagle Fencing, and having them basically managing them from this point on. The positive is it's a zero change in dollar. The negative is it's a burden on the town. So like I said in the email, there's 2 options here: to accept the credit and take on the PO from Eagle, or B, just have Turner continue to take on this to its fruition. You heard all that, right, Ken?
Yes.
Okay.
Paul, I must say from my involvement with the field, and the netting was about to go up last year, and then we had to stop. I think personally it's better if this stays with Turner instead of the town having to oversee this. We would have to do credits and do more POs and everything else. Is there more pros if this just stays with the project and with Turner?
So I think you just mentioned it, Ken, in your statement. The pros is that there's not a burden on the town and this is, quite frankly, a burden, because you're taking on another project that you guys are already spread thin on.
Mr. Chairman, Rich Fredette here.
Yes, go right ahead, Rich.
I agree 100% with you, Ken. I believe it should stay with Eagle and not put the burden onto the town to do these little tightened up buttons.
Right, because this is something they would have been doing last year if everything had ran smoothly, and it's just a year later, and they have all the drawings, they have all the specifications that we've already looked at and approved. So I would lean heavily towards leaving it with the project and having Turner oversee Eagle to do it.
Do you need a motion, Mr. Chairman?
There is a change order, right, Paul? So we do?
Yeah. So you'll motion to decline the credit?
Correct. I'll make that motion.
Second, Susan Lance.
Hey, is there any further discussion?
I just want it to be heard that's the first time I've ever turned down a credit.
Duly noted, Mr. Fredette.
Okay.
But the work still gets done, so it's
Yes.
it's a plus. Okay, all those
All right, Ken.
all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, the chair votes aye. The motion carries unanimously. Next up, Paul.
That's it for change orders, Chairman. Next on the agenda is new business, if I may.
Okay. Yes, go right ahead.
All right, so first item on our new business, everyone, I distributed this again on Friday or early Saturday morning. The NHFS camera installs, if you remember, Jack and Ken and I went before the committee and kind of proposed this to the committee for a sports camera on Pender's Field, as well as in the main gymnasium at the high school. The work is in place. The cameras have been used for quite some time, and the invoice has come in for us to pay. So
Mr. Chairman, this is Jack Delapino. If I may just jump in real quick.
Yes, Jack.
Just want to say these cameras have been invaluable to us. They've live streamed graduation in the last couple of years, and they also have broadcast every home sporting event at both Pender's Field and in the Stratford High School Gymnasium over the last 2 years as well. So we appreciate this. Thank you very much.
Yes, absolutely. And I know everybody refers to them as sports cameras because the main use is sports, but there's lots of other things like Jack just mentioned. It could really be used for anything that happens on that field: town events, school events, graduations, sports, the band, really anything. And we have them over at Bunnell, and now that we've had them at Stratford for a year, they're really getting good use. And especially during COVID, if fans weren't allowed into the games and everything, a lot of people were able to watch their kids play. And it also made a lot of, the uncles and grandparents and grandmas that don't live around here were also able to see their kids play that live, anywhere. So it's really been a great boon to the community as a whole. I agree, Jack.
Chairman, may I be specific on the motion, please?
Yes, Paul.
So the motion should be to approve 2080 Media Incorporated invoice number 268 in the amount of $7,000.
So move, Susan Lance.
Second, Rich Fredette.
Okay, thank you.
Paul, can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, I
Yes,
was just going to say, make sure everything has that for the minutes.
The numbers, Aileen, is 2080 and then Media Incorporated.
Thank you.
And it's invoice number 268. All right.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Ken, are you done with that?
No, we didn't vote yet.
My apologies.
No problem. That was just a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is NNS Electric Incorporated invoice SD 2960 in the amount of $3,034.92. So, like I said in my email, there were no signs of radon early on in the project, but we did install infrastructure just in case. So we received a call from Rich Rosario in June of 21 that there was some radon detected. So we hopped right on it, and Rich had called his electrician to get this done sooner than later because this, I believe, a parent was aware of this. So it's something that needed to be taken care of in short time. And so Rich had his guy there, and this is what this invoice is for, is to get the radon system activated.
Hey, Paul, is there any special wording for this motion?
Just the approval of NNS Electric Incorporated invoice SD 2960 in the amount of $3,034.92.
Got it.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Right, any discussion? Hey, hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Any
All right,
opposed?
everyone. The last item on the
Paul,
agenda.
hang on, we got it. Paul, hang on, we got to just finish the vote. No problem.
I'm sorry, Ken. Man, I'm
It's all right. It's all right. The chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Go ahead, Paul.
I'm sorry, Ken. All right. If I
Look, you got dinner on the
if I
table?
had visual, I'd be better. But I'm looking at the screen and listening. So anyway, the last item on new business, everybody, is 216 King Street. 2 meetings back, I brought this forward, Dowling's Construction's estimate for paving 216 King Street's driveway. So Sound Shore Holdings reached out to me again last week, and I told them that this was going to be on the agenda tonight. They could very well be on this meeting as we were talking. So I had asked the committee to kind of drive by. It is my opinion, for what it's worth, everyone, is that driveway is in really tough shape, and that driveway is going to be on your field winter after winter. And I want to say that, and I know this doesn't sit well for whatever reason, but man, it would be nice to be clean. That's all I have to say.
Before we have any discussion, someone just needs to make a motion. It could be to approve or deny, and then we could have a discussion and a vote.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to deny.
Is there a second?
I'll second Dan Sam.
Okay, is there any discussion? Paul, I'd like to just piggyback on what you just said. I know this is a tough situation. To my knowledge, that driveway was in pretty bad shape before we started this project, correct?
It was, Chairman.
Right, and what exactly are they saying? Are they saying that we wrecked his driveway?
That's not what they said, Chairman.
I don't know what. No, I don't know what
Yeah.
they said. That's why I'm asking. So, like, why is he asking us to fix his driveway then? Let me reword.
I think the Sound Shore Holdings was asking if, since they were a good neighbor throughout the project, if they could return the favor of being a good neighbor and pave their driveway. I think that's the long and the short of it, Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, if I could just add that, listen, we have a lot of school buildings, municipal buildings that butt up to private property. And, you know, I think we'd be setting a precedent just because they're good neighbors. We have good neighbors all over the town. And I think this would set a precedent, and I don't think it's the right thing to do.
Right, and I think their property and our property, we have been good neighbors through this whole project.
Yes, we have.
We also, correct me if I'm wrong, Paul, but didn't we pay to chop down those trees on his property already?
We did, Chairman.
Yeah.
And the one that was further in on his property as well. Not just on the property line, but we took one in the middle of the property as well.
Oh, correct.
So we went, the town has been good to this neighbor.
Yes, and we also ground the stumps, the ones on the property line and that one farther away from the property line, correct?
Yes, that's right, Chairman. That is correct.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Okay, if not, we'll just make sure we're voting correctly here. A yes vote is to deny. Okay, a yes vote is to deny because the motion was to deny. All those in favor of denying?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Aye.
Are there any opposed to denying? Okay, the chair votes aye. The motion to deny carries unanimously. Next up, Paul.
That is all, Chairman, for tonight.
Okay, as always, thank you for your hard work with this project and for the town, Paul. It really is appreciated.
Back then.
Next item on the agenda is new business. Does anybody have any new business? Okay, hearing none. Item 8 on the agenda is just a notice of our next regular meeting. It's Monday, October 4th. We'll be back to Mondays. No holidays like this month. So Monday, October 4th at 5:30 or as soon as Public Works ends. Special meeting, if needed, would be September 20th. Paul, at this point, I don't foresee a special meeting. Do you?
Not at this point, Chairman, but I will keep the committee up to date, just in case.
Thank you. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I'd like to thank everybody for your help as always and your continued work for our town and your volunteerism. The meeting is adjourned at 6:04 p.m. Thank you very much. If you are on building needs, please stay right here. We are going to start immediately. Dr. Osunde, nice to have you, and we'll see you around. Yeah, we still can't hear you. Well, it's good to see you. You can give us a wave. Aileen, let me know when we're ready for building needs.
I'm just gonna text Lom. He's the one you're waiting for.
Okay, thank you. Oh, here he is. Lam, is that you?
Yay!
Sure. I made it on time?
Oh,
You did.
Aileen was just texting you. Perfect timing.
Got it.
Timing's everything.
Yes, it is.
And thank you guys for putting up with all my emails. And are you showing up? Are you showing up? I appreciate it. Okay, Ken, you're still recording, so you can just start.
Okay. Hey, I'm going to call the Building Needs Committee of September 7th, 2021 to order at 6:05 p.m. I'm Ken Poisson, 6th District Councilman and Chairman of the Building Needs Committee. Second item on the agenda is approval of minutes. I'll take a motion to approve August's minutes.
So moved.
Is there a second?
And Sam, I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Item 3 is ongoing items. 3A is Board of Ed and A1 is Stratford High School Renovation Subcommittee. Alan Llewellyn is unavailable tonight, so I'll be giving that report. Paul, if you could refresh my memory on what we need to approve, I'd appreciate it.
Sure, Ken. So there's 2 items actually, Chairman. The first being the camera. Hold this up again.
The NFHS cameras at Penders and in the gymnasium.
Yes.
For $1, I believe.
It was, I have there we go. I X'd out of my invoice. I apologize, Chairman. All right, so a motion to approve 2080 Media Incorporated's invoice number 268 in the amount of $7,000 for two cameras.
So moved.
Second. Hey, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oh, I'm sorry. Is there any discussion? Man, I'll always say, like, we were all just on the last call, so the discussion happened there.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. And the other one, Paul?
The only other item, Chairman, is N&S Electric Incorporated invoice number SD2960 in the amount of $3,034.92.
So moved what he said.
Hey, Lon, was that you?
Second, Ron, second. Yes, sir.
Hey, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Paul, also, do we have to do the netting?
Oh, yes, thank you, Chairman. My goodness. So yes, a motion to deny Turner change order request 321R.
You're gonna make me do this twice in one night. Motion to deny.
Second, Lum.
Okay, and again, just to refresh everybody's memory, we were denying the credit to turn the ball safety netting for the turf field over to the town. We are going, if you vote to deny this, then it will just stay with the project. It'll stay with Turner and they'll oversee Eagle Fence do the netting, which was the original plan.
That's right, Chairman.
All those in favor of denying?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? And the chair votes aye. The motion to deny carries unanimously. And that was it, correct, Paul?
Yes, thank you, Chairman.
All right, thank you, Paul, for your continued work for this project and for our town.
All right, everyone. Good night.
Night, Paul.
Good night, Paul. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Okay, item 3A2 is open work orders. The Board of Ed open work orders were emailed out to us ahead of time, as always, to help expedite the meeting. Does anybody have any questions for Danny?
The only thing I have is some concerns with Eli Whitney. I know I brought this up before the end of the school year, but you know, I just got through running down there earlier today. Can I share my screen, Eileen? No?
I'm sorry, I can't. I have my iPad and I can't screen
No, that's
share.
okay.
I apologize.
You know, I took some pictures today and, you know, first of all, the railings that were painted blue are all chipped and it just absolutely looks terrible. I know they're putting a new burner in, Dan?
They're putting complete new boilers. Boilers
New
that have
boilers,
water
okay.
heater.
But, you know, they put a sidewalk in and it was like putting lipstick on a pig. I mean, the field is in terrible shape. The playground itself, the mulch is worn out. There's grass growing. I mean, this is the start of the school year for the kids. And you have new parents that are coming into Eli Whitney with the kindergarten program or preschool, whatever it may be. And it's just unsightly, the area that the kids have to play on. It's a small area as it is. There's also an area in the back part where the parking lot area is, where there's a sidewalk area that's pavement that's falling apart. So I'm saying to myself, the guy spent all the time putting in the walkway with concrete. If they just look to their left down by the baseball field, which is completely covered in grass right now, they would have seen that the pavement is just eroding over there and the sidewalk is just falling apart. It leads us to to a possible lawsuit if some kid falls down or a parent falls down, getting out of their cars and walking over to the school. So, you know, I bring that up because also of the booth, Danny, the
Yep.
playground area up there, the mulch is non-existent in areas. And, you know, you have kids playing on there and, you know, to me, it's a poor representation and a poor example of the grounds that we have, you know, throughout the town and the upkeep. And I'm not putting the blame on any one individual, but something really needs to get done because the ball fields and everything else, and I know the kids aren't using the ball fields the way they used to, but just the upkeep and the maintenance. And if along the fence line at Eli Whitney on both sides, it's just, there's weeds all over the place. You can't even walk on one side, it's so bad. So
Dan, have you, Dan, I'm sorry to interrupt. Have you brought your concerns about the fields up to Parks and Rec, the Parks and Rec Committee?
no, I haven't. Is it their responsibility as far as the overall maintenance on the fields, Park and Rec?
Yeah, anything on the fields, playgrounds, schools, and everything outside. Correct me if I'm wrong, Danny. It falls under Parks and Rec, correct?
Yes, it all falls under the Parks Department, yes.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, Parks Department it would do the upkeep, but the Parks would be the Parks and Rec,
Yes,
Parks and Rec Committee.
yes,
If somebody had, if you had concerns.
yes, but I will relay that message too, and I will get a painting contractor in there to look at those railings.
yeah, no, I appreciate that, Danny. And with having some council people on this call, I just, I'm busy enough with travel, so I was just wondering if we can get the word out and start taking a look at, the upkeep of our
Yeah,
facilities.
Dan, I totally hear you. And Councilman Bill O'Brien, who I know you've known for a long time, he's chairman of Parks and Rec. So if you want to shoot him those
I will.
pictures that you took and send him a quick note, then he can also pass it up the chain of command like Dan is going to do.
Perfect. Thank you.
Anytime. Anything else, Dan?
Nope.
Dan S. All right, Danny, I just had a couple of notes. There's a couple of things on those work orders that I think have been taken care of. Like it says Stratford High, the doors are stuck and everything. Turner fixed all of those, so I don't even know why it was on there in the first place. Those have been taken care of, correct?
I believe most of them have, but we're still having some issues where people are putting wedges in the tops of the doors, and it's springing the hinges. So we've been taking over some of that duty of replacing those or repairing them. So
Right.
I believe we have them all done at this point. They might just not have gotten closed out of the work orders.
Right, and I think that first, the main work order was talking about the outside doors, but the outside doors were all Turner's responsibility, and they took care of those, correct?
Yes, yes.
Right, and has the administration at Stratford High officially been told to perhaps tell their staff and teachers and custodial people not to keep putting wedges in the doors?
I believe they have. I think I thought there was signage up for that in some of the schools. I'm not sure about there.
Maybe we should just make sure that's been communicated.
I will.
Okay, anything else for Danny under Board of Ed? All right, item 3B is general town buildings. B1 is open work orders and building repairs. Danny has also emailed those out to us ahead of time, as always, to help expedite the meeting. So we can look those over ahead of time. Does anybody have any questions for Danny on town buildings? Danny, I'll just make my usual note that there seems to be some like tree requests and stuff on your list, and that stuff keeps happening to pop up on the wrong list. Have those been transferred over to Public Works?
Yes, they're always on the Public Works side. It's just when they printed out the report, they showed up on there. I try to have them remove them, but some of them go by building. It's just hard to get them off. But they are on Kelly's list for the trees.
Okay. Any questions for Danny on town buildings? Okay, item B2 is Booth Park. Danny, any updates on Booth?
The only update is right now is the stained glass window in the clock tower that I went up to bid for, and it was Cronenberger and Sons was the low bidder. So I'm just waiting on a purchase order, and once they have it, then they'll schedule them to remove that and restore it and put it back. That's about it up there right now, except for general maintenance.
Okay.
We did have some ceilings repaired in the homestead. They were old plaster ones that we took out the broken pieces and went over with sheetrock. Finishing up taping that now, so we'll probably have one more day and that should be ready for paint.
All righty. Danny, as always, I know you guys are busy, especially with all the storms and everything, so thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hey, item 4 is new business. Does anybody have any new business? All right, hearing none. Item 5 is the notice of our next regular meeting. We'll be back to Monday next month, the first Monday of the month as usual with no holidays. Monday, October 4th, immediately following Stratford High Subcommittee as always, and a special meeting if needed would be September 20th. But as we heard during the Stratford High meeting, it looks unlikely at this point that we'll need a special meeting. Item 6 is adjournment. I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Dan Sempth, I'll second.
Okay, before we adjourn, I'd like to thank everybody for your continued service and your volunteerism for our town. Thank you very much. We are adjourned at 6:19 p.m. Thank you, everybody.